Hey everybody. God damn it, is that really heavy breathing? I didn't think I was breathing that heavily. That's disturbing. I'm probably going to die soon. Oh well. Hey everybody. It's time for a Periscope. I'm going to talk for a while for fun. The occasion being Lethal Weapon films on AMC tonight. I think all of them. We're going to be getting Lethal Weapon 2 soon, which is the best one, of course. Because it's got South African accents, and there's nothing better than a big South African accent. You bloody Krugerrands, man. Krugerrands. Aye, it's bloody Krugerrands, man. There me are, hey. How you doing? The rest of the Chapo crew is hanging out in Brooklyn right now, doing something impossibly cool. I don't truck with that. I stay in the Midwest and get drunk by myself. So I guess I don't have anything to say this time, specifically, I guess. So whatever anyone wants to talk about, I'm ready to talk about it. Including the fact that apparently I'm going to die in like the next week because I'm breathing like a fucking wheezing hog. Blick. It's the Blicks. God damn it, fuck you. My Wi-Fi is fine. It's courtesy of Spectrum. Spectrum Internet. How the fuck could I not... How could there be a better internet than the fucking Spectrum? Those people know their shit. I'd like to go on Tumtown. I'm a little worried about getting called a faggot by all of their psychotic fans, but I'm also kind of willing to accept the challenge of it. I think it might be fun. But I don't know. No, I'm not in Cedar Rapids, obviously. I'm just referring to the classic vine from Hillary Clinton's campaign that won her the presidency. Wait a minute. So I'm looking at the little hearts here. And well, no, it's not AT&T. It's fucking Time Warner. Anyway, I'm looking at this thing and there's hearts, but there's also little cameras. Does that mean people are taking fucking pictures of me right now? People are taking pictures? That's disturbing. I didn't sign on to that. I didn't sign on to be a cam boy. If I'm going to be a cam boy, I want to get the situation where you're getting, like, you know, the money in your account where they're paying you and shit. I want that. Well, of course Lepidus was a cuck. I mean, that's why he was the other triumvir, because he was the one that neither of them were, that Mark Antony or Augustus was threatened by. I mean, if he had any kind of tea, they wouldn't have put him in the fucking triumvirate, because he would have been a threat to undermine their power. I mean, obviously he was a cuck. Come on. Can I get a hat wobble? I'm like 5 feet from my modem, so I don't know what to do. I might have to cancel this if it's not going to work. I did see Get Out. It's good. People are right. Don't listen to Armin White. And don't listen to people say Armin White is some sort of brilliant visionary. He's a troll. And he is due the respect that trolls deserve, which is not much. It's a good movie. Okay, I'm getting other people telling me it's working fine, which makes me think that it's your fucking Wi-Fi that's the problem. So you should retire your fucking Wi-Fi's, bitch. Boom. Sherman's in bed once again. Me and the cat all by ourselves on a Friday night. they're getting ready to do my favorite scene in Lethal Weapon when Martin Riggs shows down with Gary Busey on Murtaugh's front lawn, and Murtaugh just tells the rest of the LAPD, hey, don't worry about it. Let them fucking sort it out. And they just fight on the lawn until Riggs beats him, which makes you think, like, okay, what if it had gone the other way? What if Gary Busey had killed Mel Gibson? How the hell would they explain that? Like on the news. Police officer murdered in full sight of half of his precinct. Everybody on that fucking place would have been fired. It would have been a disaster. It's like in Reservoir Dogs. Like, how they would have had to, the governor of California would have had to resign if Reservoir Dogs happened in real life. Like, they allow this cop to get tortured in a garage while they're surveilling it. An LAPD officer stands by while a bunch of civilians get massacred, and then the LAPD officer kills a woman while carjacking her, also that they can kill, also that like a 90-year-old mob boss can get killed by one of his subordinates. That would have been the biggest fucking scandal in the California history. Diplomatic immunity. I mean, it's bloody diplomatic immunity. I'm going to say it until I get it right. It's diplomatic immunity. When we had Adam on, I didn't get to spend enough time trying to perfect my my South African accent. By the way, the bullhorn guy in Waking Life is Alex Jones before he just became a complete fucking hack. Diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity. Yeah, that's what I said. Alex Jones is the bullfrog guy. The bullhorn guy. God damn it, I'm not actually in Cedar Rapids, motherfuckers. It's just a reference to a popular meme. Jesus fucking Christ. When am I going to New York again? I think early April. Yeah, that's going to be the nearest time. I'll be in Pittsburgh with the gang on the 18th and 19th of this month. But I'm not going to be in New York until, like, first week of April. Diplomatic immunity. Aaron Rodgers is probably gay, let's be realistic. Anytime a athlete hooks up with a movie star, especially one who's like B-list, who's like, you know, not, who kind of needs publicity because they're not like at the top of the tier, it's usually because they're gay. Come on, Justin Verlander and Kate Upton, probably gay. No, I abide by BDS. I'm not going to Israel. Not in an official capacity, anyway. I've never been called Maddie. The Midwest, East Coast thinks it's better for a very simple reason, because there's more people there. It's like everyone lives on the East Coast, basically, in the United States, so why wouldn't it be the best? I mean, you know? They're fighting on the lawn now. They're fighting on the lawn, and Mel Gibson is snapping at Gary Busey with his rolled-up shirt like he's in a gym locker room. It's pretty sweet. California's great. It's the best state. Come on. Come on. How do you beat California? Sure, everything that's inland 100 miles is shit, but the coast is... There's no better part of the country. It's not going to exist in 50 years, but for now, it's great. I already drank a Mangria, and I barely survived it. I'm not going to do it again. No, if we were gonna go, but if we were gonna, I don't know if we're gonna. I mean, well, it would be interesting to do the thing about the a deal about the alt left article, because Wolcott was such a good, for me anyway, as a young man reading in, because I read everybody I liked, because I was a young dude during the Bush years. I felt like I was going insane because we were hostage to this madman and no one seemed to care. I cling to the people who wrote eloquently about it, and I thought that two guys I read really religiously during that time and thought were really brilliant were Walcott and Charles Pierce, and they're both a couple of fucking dinguses. They're just sad old assholes who cannot accept their own irrelevance. And I think it might be an interesting segment if we talked about them sort of in tandem as these guys who really had something and then basically got old and couldn't come to terms with getting old. And I think that terrible alt-left article might be a good hook for it. Because I read Wolcott all the time. He was great. But now he just seems like he's a fussy old maid. He's like Joan Crawford and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Would love to go to Havana. I really want to go to Cuba. I don't know what Zizek is. Zizek is basically a left version of Milo, a guy who will say whatever it takes to stay relevant to the media and get attention. That's it, Oh, God, liking Raimondo. I never went that far. I never went that far. Man, here's the thing with Cuba. I really hope that it just comes down to Trump is too lazy and stupid to really try to reverse a lot of stuff. And that's my hope. That's why I hope that the Iran deal and Cuba normalization don't change, just because he's too fucking stupid and lazy to really push forward and change those things. And I think that's possible. I have well, of course, that's the thing. Zizek actually has a strong academic pedigree, which of course Milo never did. But now, I mean, what has he did? The last 10 books by Zizek are just self-plagiarizations. I mean, he hasn't written an original thing in over a decade. Because people have him on media and invite him to shit, and he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't care. He's admitted that when he's teaching classes at the new school, that he doesn't even read students' papers. He's addicted to it. He's addicted to being a lazy motherfucker who gets paid attention to. Terry Eagleton's pretty good for a sinecure academic. You could do worse. He's a good guy to have people read, to introduce them to contemporary Marxist thought, because he writes clearly and concisely and briefly. I mean, Pervert's Guide to Movies is good if for no other reason than the fact that he's got an extended period talking about They Live, which is awesome. I voted for fucking Drill, dude. Everyone knows this. I wrote in Drill. There's fucking photographic evidence of it. I wrote at Drill on my ballot because he should be president. God damn it, they got the SPCA commercial on again. Motherfucker. This is the most upsetting minute that you will ever see on television, is the goddamn dogs looking stricken into the camera. I want to fucking kill myself. God damn it. They don't do the McLaughlin song anymore. What is the idiot talking about the UN thing? Some moron is talking about some UN resolution. Is this some fucking bullshit like Agenda 21? Isn't it? That's what it is, isn't it? Anybody who cares about UN resolutions is a moron. The whole point about UN resolutions is that they're meaningless and unenforceable, so who gives a fuck? Caring about them means you're a moron. That's a fact. That's science. I would like to see more gay frogs. Michigan J-Frog was pretty gay. I think we can all agree on that. I am the moron? I don't think so, buddy. I am not the moron. There's Pierpont, everybody. He's in a little tuxedo, buddy. Look at him. Hello, buddy. Look at him. Oh, look at his little face. I hate him. But he's adorable. I hate him very much, but he's adorable. Oh, thank you for loving me. Yeah, he kind of does have a Hitler mustache. Ah, man. Brazzers over Bang Bros. I don't know, man. Every country in Europe has its problems. In the EU, anyway. I don't know. They all seem pretty bad. Those guys need to get over race. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, the degree to which Europeans care about race. You know what? I don't care about the Dune thing. People got it, or they didn't. That's what I like about it, is that people either got the joke or they didn't. And if you didn't, that's cool. But if you did, you know what? That's actually a great idea. Talking about children of men. I mean, I don't like the idea that people would say I'm a gamer. I'm not a gamer. This person doesn't care about my dumb opinions, and yet they're watching my Periscope. I feel like they're the one who's owned, not me. Well, thank you for saying I'm the best Chapo member, but frankly, I don't think there's anything stealthy about it. I think I'm obviously the best Chapo member. I don't game. I like Settlers of Catan. Give me a board game over some fucking video game shit. Give me something I can commune with friends over. Motherfuckers are trolling me with fucking gaming questions. I don't care or know anything about gaming. Gaming is gay and stupid and I don't care. I have pretty high tea, and the way I know that is because my goddamn hair is falling out, which Amber assures me is a sign of high tea. And why would I want to argue with her? She seems pretty smart. I'm not going to claim she doesn't know what she's talking about, so I got really high tea, thanks, according to her. Okay, you know what? I would like to do more intoxicated past, but I honestly don't know what to talk about. Does anybody have any ideas? I would love to do an intoxicated past, but like Willich was the only thing I could think of that met the combination of like being obscure, but also something I knew about. This guy is adorable. Anybody who cares about UN resolutions is a moron. They don't have enforceability, so who gives a shit? It's just a meaningless thing that they do to stave off the sense of total helplessness and ennui that must consume a bureaucrat in an organization that has no power. I listened to one of the Mongolian Dan Carlin things, and I couldn't get with his whole like discursive talk. It just bothered me. Okay, what have people said? Wisconsin's socialist history would be interesting. You know what? The sewer socialists would actually be an interesting topic. Oh, God. Okay, you're right. I'm going to do sewer socialists. You're right. Sewer socialists. Because the thing about sewer socialists is they were like the only time that socialists in the United States claimed actual power in a municipality for any kind of extended period of time. I don't know enough about it to do one now, but I could do some research. That's a great idea. Yeah, they just showed Hank Schrader. He's in one of the support cars here. He's going to get blown up later at the poker game. I just spilled this drink all over myself because I gestured too emphatically. God damn it. Yeah, just started. God damn it. No, I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge. Will saw it. He liked it, but I highly doubt he'd say it deserved Best Picture. I would love to defeat Ron Johnson. The fact that Feingold lost again is really, frankly, even more upsetting to me than Trump winning. I don't know how that happened. I blame Hillary. It was a goddamn disaster. Idiot! UN resolutions don't mean anything. Moron! Moron! Well, here's the thing. Yes, they're trying there's unquestionably a concerted media campaign to turn Chelsea Clinton into the Dauphin. If the left has any power, it has to defeat her. If she gets elected to anything, then it means that we have no ability to defeat the collapsing Habsburgian shithead alt center. Just beat her. Kick her ass. This guy's really funny. This UN resolution guy is really funny. I know I can, but I'm amused that there's some like Alex Jones dipshit who thinks that a meaningless fucking UN resolution has any sort of influence on anything. You know how many things have fucking been passed through UN General Assembly resolutions over the years? You are a fucking retarded moron. You're the same idiot who talked about Agenda 23 until you realized that everybody could look around and go, oh yeah, all that UN engineered, these people talked about how a UN resolution was going to lead to some sort of Pol Potian, like reverse Pol Pot, like forcible removal to cities, that people were going to be forced at gunpoint to live in apartment complexes. And it hasn't happened, so they stopped talking about Agenda 23 because they realized it made them sound like a bunch of morons. So I guess this is the new version of that. But it's going to have exactly as much impact on the policy of actual countries as that did. You fucking idiot. DSA, join DSA. If you're on the left, join DSA. Just do it. Who knows what will happen? It could be the thing that stabs the heart through the neoliberal shithead Democratic Party's a stake through their heart. We don't know yet. But people have to join it, and we'll see. And if it doesn't, if it turns into, like, people claim it's some sort of pact to support Democrats, then fucking leave if that's what happens. Get out of there. Start something else. This idea, people have this weird fetish where like, oh no, I can't join DSA. What if it's accommodationist? What if it's helps Democrats? So what? Then leave it. Like the idea that anybody's keeping track of your individual votes or your individual choices is hilarious. God, this guy is so funny. What a moron. Yeah, Democrats are the party of young urban professionals. That is the entirety of the Democratic base, real Democratic base, as opposed to people who vote for them for lack of other alternatives. The people who vote for Democrats out of genuine enthusiasm are young urban professionals, people with money, but liberal social views. That's it. Man, the number of people, Shiites rule. I wish there were I wish there were more Shiites in America. The Shiites are the best. They're clearly the superior form of Islam or any kind of monotheistic religion. Is there a real Babavakian guy in here? That's amazing. Yeah, quote me. The Shiites are the best. The Shiites are the most fervent warriors of Islam, as my terrible, as J. Gregory Garrison's book, The Devil's Playground, said. Oh, good. There's a good book about the Wilmington coup that I haven't read. What the fuck is it called? Let me look it up. I think it's called like The Redeemers or something like that. Redemption. It's really good. It's about the entire 1880s neo-Confederate reaction to Reconstruction. It's really good. What is the name of the? I'm gonna find it here. Yeah, it's called Redemption. That's it. Is that it? By Nicholas Lehman. Is this the one? Checking out. Or is this? This might be about the Colfax massacre. No, that's about Mississippi. Never mind. If you don't want to read a book, there was a good dollop episode about the Wilmington coup a little while ago. Yeah, it looks like We Have Taken a City is the best extant history of it from the 80s. So yeah, that's a good one. You know what? The funny thing is, I've listened to a bunch of Pollock Dollop episodes, and I love them very much. And I haven't even listened to the Tickling episode yet. No, they didn't kick me out. They didn't care. I was. I mean, I was yelling, but I wasn't screaming. Nobody could really hear me over the din. Um, for my money, the funniest Dollop episode is also a very early one, but it's not the Tickling episode. It's the one about chastity balls or whatever the hell they're called. That's so good. Oh God, the first time I listened to that, I was crying nonstop. I think atheism is a thing you believe, but when you turn it into an identity, then it becomes sort of a rigid social costume that is incredibly tedious. I haven't listened to the Iraq one yet. I should. I would get mad though because living through it was traumatic enough. Having it recounted would be infuriating too. All right. People ask me about books. This is what I'm reading right now. These are the books I'm reading. I'm not reading them like fast or anything because the internet has ruined my ability to read things quickly. But this is what I'm reading right now. So these are the things that I'm currently getting through to some level or another. So we've got the latest Harvey, which is a really good intro to a lot of premises of Marxism that are still relevant and unarguable. Then we've got the new Jacob Baccarat novel that I'm halfway through and is really good. Highly recommended. And then we've got this great book that my friend Alex Gorovich, his other book I'm going to read soon, he sent me. It's a collection of Marx's writings, Marx and Engels' writings about the Civil War. That's going to be good. I'm very briefly into it, but it's good so far. Judith Stein's book about the 70s and how they sort of paved the way for the death of industrialism and the rise of the finance sector as the engine of American capitalism. That's good. Just started that. And then, of course, my boy, George Saunders, his novel about Lincoln and his dead kid, which I'm early in, but is really good already and experimental and heart killing and great. So that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm not being pulled away by the internet. Oh yeah, Saunders is the best. Saunders is the best distillation of what it means to live in the 21st century I can imagine, other of course than drill tweets. I have a Kindle too, and Kindles are good because I can read them on the treadmill. But I still if I really like a book, I'd rather have it uh, on regular real format. Yeah, Crash is good. I'm still reading. It's been like a year. I'm still reading High Rise, but man, the thing about Ballard is that he's so chilly and bloodless that it kind of is repellent after a while. So it's hard for me to read it for too long. But it's good. The movie is great. Ben Wheatley is amazing. Oh yeah, Charles Murray. I don't know. I think paying too much attention to anything that happens on a college campus is a mistake. I mean, it really is a very small sliver of the petty bourgeois who actually send their kids to college in America, and focusing so much on it, it's really just a emblem of the class background of people in media, to be real. They just did the rubber commercial in Lethal Weapon too, when his daughter had the condom commercial. I remember when I was a kid, there was a condom commercial, and it blew my mind. I was like, "Holy shit, a condom commercial? What is happening?" That's for boners. It blew my fucking mind. And then, yeah, I have a number of Pynchon novels, but I have a hard time getting into them. It's just so dense. I've read Crying of Light. I love Mark Blythe. I would love to have him on Chapo. Harvey too. They'd both be great. The ideal thing would be to go to the UK and do a tour and be able to sit down with both of them. That'd be fantastic. I like some Loach. Yeah, Wind That Shakes the Barley is really good. I haven't seen I Am Daniel Blake yet, but I've heard it's one of his best in a while. If I could punch someone in history in the dick God, that's a good question. I mean, frankly, who would I not want to punch in the dick? There's so many people I'd like to punch in the dick. The first name that comes to mind, though, and I guess that's the best answer, is John C. Calhoun. Just right in the dick. And balls, hopefully. More balls, because that's what really hurts. What about League of Nations? Yeah, excuse me, League of Nations. Yeah, that guy's gone, by the way. I owned him into logging off, which means I win. The Eagle rules. Eagle's best fried chicken I've had outside of New Orleans. The best fried chicken I've ever had is in New Orleans. Willie Mae's Scotch House. Best fried chicken I've ever had. But the Eagle is second. It's really good. They're doing it. No, they just killed the guy who fucked up. They should have been the head on this bloody movie. Diplomatic community. Here we go. We're going to do a South African accents here. Here we go. We're doing diplomatic community. Isn't that a bit time? My life before Chapo was a fucking nightmare of fail Sundom. South African accent, man. A scared cop is more useful than a dead one. In my experience, a scared cop is more useful than a dead one. Hey, you think that they love the East Coast? I will tell you definitively. Felix hates New York and loves Chicago. He fucking hates New York, and if he could move back to Chicago, he would do it in a heartbeat. I am agnostic. I haven't spent a lot of time in Chicago compared to New York, so I mean, I don't know. But I'm moving back to New York, so uh, I mean, Chicago seems nice, but that's where the action is, as it were. No, the only one who's a real New York supremacist is Will, because he was born and raised there. The Snickers is so liquor, bro. The Snickers, man. Wahhabism sucks. Come on. Fuck hell. What is this bullshit? I mean, if you want to fucking have an example of how identity politics ruins brains, there's no better one than people standing for Wahhabism because it's Islamophobic to point out that it's medieval and barbaric and murderous and awful, which it fucking is. I mean, my God, are we going to have no fucking standards? I mean, what are we fighting for if we don't have any kind of, if we can't fucking make any kind of positive claims one way or another? Give me a fucking break. Yeah, I'm an atheist. I wish I wasn't, but I am. More out of just the fact that when I close my eyes and like try to listen to a voice, I don't hear one. I don't claim that there's anything logical about it. I don't claim that you can answer that question with your rational mind. You can't. All I know is that I don't feel a presence. And I've never felt a presence. And as a result, I don't think there is one. And that's what it comes down to. There's some research that suggests that there's actually a neurological component to religion, in that like some people with a certain, like when people have religious fervor, there's like a part of their brain that sort of gets fired. And I just kind of suspect that just through an accident of birth, that part of my brain is very undeveloped. And that's why I've never felt anything close to a religious sensation. See, Buddhism is no good for me because, like, the thing that horrifies me about being an atheist is oblivion and the end and the lack of sensation, the lack of life. And the whole, I understand what Buddhism is trying to do. Buddhism says, oh, if what makes you angsty about living is the fear of losing things, well, don't be attached to them. But fuck you, I want to be attached to them. What else is there to be attached to? I am attached to them, and I can't not be attached to them. So Buddhism doesn't work for me. It's too intellectual. The website's going to be up shortly. We have a lot of great ideas, and we're going to have some amazing videos on it within the next month, I would say. I wish I've done acid. I've done mushrooms, and they're awesome. Mushrooms rule. I would like to do acid in the future. Haven't yet. Cheese curds rule. Cheese curds are an essential component of Midwestern, specifically Upper Midwestern and Wisconsin culture. They're some of the best food you can find. They're delicious, and they'll help you die early, which is also an advantage. Yeah, see, the idea about like doing a show where everyone's tripping, it sounds funny, but I guarantee you if we actually did it, it would suck and everyone would hate it. Poutine is really good. My wife puked eating poutine one time. It was kind of adorable. It was just too rich. The Canadian, but the thing is that the Upper Midwest where I'm from is basically Southern Canada. Like, it's the same folk ways and it's the same culture in a lot of ways. And the thing is, we used to be like Southern Ottawa, and then thanks to fucking Scott Walker, we're now Southern Alberta, basically. I've been to Vancouver and Victoria and BC, that's it. And it's great, it's beautiful. Wait a minute, the Golden Flame in Manitowoc? Is that what you're talking about? That's where my grandfather used to go for breakfast like every day, was the Golden Flame in Manitowoc. Is that what you're talking about? Because that's freaky if you're talking about that place. We're going to go to Toronto. We've gotten a lot of interest. I think we could definitely sell out a venue in Toronto, which is kind of funny. It's like, I thought you people had your own politics with your sexy prime minister. Why do you care about us yelling about Trump? Yeah, every country, yeah. I don't like the NDP. I mean, they ruined it. They blew it. They blew their shot. The NDP blew it. No, yeah. He's got a nice butt, but he's not very good. Le Pen might win. Strap in, motherfuckers. Le Pen very well might be the next prime minister. The best, I goddamn said this last time, the best Ernest movie is Ernest Scared Stupid. How are we having this conversation again? Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest goes to jail, right underneath it. Ernest goes to camp, third. And then everything else, and then all the shit that went straight to video. That's it. Come on. It's not that hard. If it's Hamon, is that his name? Hamon? What's his name? The French left guy. If it's Hamon versus Le Pen, maybe Hamon could win. But if it's that compromised shitty Filon dude who is apparently incredibly crooked, if he holds on and makes it to the second round, I could totally see a bunch of socialists who came out to vote for Chirac in 2003 just staying home and Le Pen winning. So, buckle up. Could happen. And then if Le Pen wins, holy shit, if they try to do like a Frexit, Jesus Christ. Which is why it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually even get Brexit off the ground, because there's absolutely no incentive for the EU to uh, do anything other than be incredible hardball and give not an inch. Because what leverage does the UK have? They got nothing. They have no real leverage on the EU versus the EU's vested interest in scaring every other big country away from leaving the EU. So it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, China, dang, turned it into a capitalist country, which it is now. It's the sweatshop of the world. The U.S. and Europe just transposed their hyper exploitive labor arrangements to China. I mean, that's what they did. And I mean, in some respects, it worked in that they have a lot more money now, but they also have an incredibly restive population and a steadily deflating real estate bubble. So who knows? China's interesting. China could collapse at base. That's what's so funny about China is like, it's the biggest economy now. It passed the United States. It's this dynamo. It has global ambitions to be a world power, and it also could collapse at almost any minute, which is pretty funny. There's thousands of riots a year in China. Thousands. Truman was a fucking hillbilly dipshit. I think any coherent history of the last 30 or 40 years would group Thatcher, Reagan, Carter, and Deng Xiaoping as like one, and Gorbachev as like a class, who were all reacting to the same global economic situation and reach the same conclusions. Joe Pesci's about to show up in Lethal Weapon 2. Everybody get excited. No, I love Rahava. I love Piss Pig. I love what they're trying to do over there, but Turkey is not going to let it happen. And the U.S. is totally going to sell out the Kurds to the Turks. I mean, they might be able to carve out some sort of agreement if they can get to a negotiation phase before some sort of apocalyptic military conflict. But no, Carter sucks. Come on, look at pivotal decade. Carter sucks. He was bad. Yeah, I mean the thing, like one American has been killed in Kurdistan, and he wasn't killed by ISIS. He was killed by a fucking Turkish airstrike. And if PPG dies, God, I hope it doesn't happen. It'll be way more likely to be because of fucking Turkey than because of ISIS. I think that, yeah, they could primary him. I hope they do. I think there are plenty of deep blue states that. I mean, how is Dianne Feinstein the fucking representative for California? How is that a thing? How did that happen? How is Chuck Schumer the senator from New York? How did that happen? These are things that can be corrected. Because at the level of like one party states where there's like democratic hegemony, there's no way to scare people into voting for the establishment candidate because of the GOP, and that's your best best chance of like gutting them from the inside. How is Nancy Pelosi? I mean, I understand because San Francisco is naturally a left wing city. It's a city full of bougie yuppies who are the constituency for the Democratic Party, but there's basically no Democrat or there's no Republicans. I mean, presumably you could like mobilize enough like disenfranchised people to vote for a challenger to someone like Pelosi. We'll see. Are you one of the Pelosi sisters? Which one are you? Are you Alexandra? Are you the one who makes crappy documentaries that get insanely overvalued because people want to curry favor with her mom? I think Gramsci has a useful critique of the concept of hegemony. I think that we've talked about this. I've talked about this with friends. I think that we're building the kind of situation they had in Italy post-war of an independent socialist cultural milieu, which is good, and I'm glad to be part of it. But of course, what happened to the Italian socialists and the communists? They didn't win shit. And fucking Berlusconi, who is the closest, most Trump-like figure in Western politics, became the president, 10 years ago now? You know? And now they've got the Five-Star Movement, which is some incoherent shit led by a literal TV comedian. It's certainly a warning, but it's also an opportunity. I'm very pleased to see everyone clowning on the idiot who fucking kept talking about the stupid UN resolution. Oh man, everyone sucks. I mean, that guy from Jackson, Chake Lumumba, he was good, but he's dead. Oh, he sucks. Everyone sucks. Democrats suck. Come on. They're bad. They're a bad party. They're a capitalist party. They're fucking shitty. They exist to funnel energy away from genuine change, right? I mean, that's what they're there for. They're there as like as a funnel to catch everyone who is alienated from like hyper capitalism and ethno nationalism, and that's it. That's all they're there for. They don't have any kind of program. They suck. The Democrats are terrible. There are no good real Democrats. I mean, Keith Ellison's okay, and he's still only okay compared to who else is in the caucus. Raul Gravuglia in Arizona also okay relative to who he's caucusing with. Bernie Sanders okay versus who he's caucusing with. There's nobody in an elected office at the national level who is not irredeemably just totally fun. It has to be new. It's going to have to be a new generation. God damn it. Seeing people roast a dude in the comments is the funniest thing. I love it. God damn it. I have determined that if you don't like the Wi-Fi, it's not your fault. Because it's not my fault. It's your fault. You have bad Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is good. Your Wi-Fi sucks. Fuck you. I do have, I do have the I have the Michael Douglas glasses. It's true. I do. I mean, I am a married man. I don't have uh, any kind of like fetish, but red hair is pretty hot. I mean, it's rare. I think that's really what it comes down to. There aren't a lot of real redheads in the world, so you see one and it's hot. Favorite Pesci role? That's easy. Casino. Nicky Santoro in Casino. His tour de force. He deserved an Oscar way more for that than for Goodfellas. It's genius. all of the insane rage and hatred and violence of Goodfellas with a Chicago accent. I don't like Lynch that much. This is time for me. Hashtag real Kush hours. I am always alienated by Lynch, and I understand the idea that like to enjoy Lynch, you sort of have to assume that you're sort of on along for a ride at someone else's psychic space. I always find it alienating. I'd say Eraserhead's probably his best movie. I think Eraserhead is really good because it's metaphorical in a broad sense, and it feels like he gets more specific with his other films in ways that alienate me. But Eraserhead is general enough that I can sort of go along with it. So yeah, Eraserhead. Best movie of 2016, I've said this a million times, it's Green Room. That movie rules. Jacob Solonier is amazing. Jeremy Solonier, he has an awful French name. He rules. Watch every movie he's made. Murder Party, Blue Ruin, and Green Room, because he's gonna get snapped up to fucking direct another stupid Marvel movie or a Disney movie or a fucking Star Wars movie. Watch him before he gets like sucked up into that goddamn hive mind. He's great. He rules. I like Dennis Villanueva. I liked The Arrival. A lot of people I know didn't. No, Green Room came out in 2016. Fuck off. I liked The Arrival a lot. I loved Sicario. Some people don't. Fuck off. I know it's problematic, but I think it's good. So yeah, he's good. I'm looking forward. I mean, his Blade Runner movie is gonna suck just because we don't need another goddamn fucking reboot of his thing. But I'm still gonna see it. His aesthetic is always very interesting to me. Oh man. Oh, best. You've really fucked me with this best Coen Brothers movie thing. God damn it. Oh, this is tough. I mean, all right. Oh, god damn it. I'm all right. I honestly, you could get me, and I would have a different answer if you asked me like every hour of the day. My favorite Coen Brothers movie, at any given moment, it'll probably be either Miller's Crossing or The Big Lebowski. And then, so those are like the two at the top. Let's like make them like tied. So if we take them out of contention, the next rung is going to be Raising Arizona, Fargo, No Country for Old Men. Yeah. And then a huge collection of just great movies that I love dearly, like A Serious Man and Barton Fink. And then another level of just not fully successful films. Intolerable Cruelty, and at the very bottom, Lady Killers. Their only not great movie. Everything else is at least great. Oh, and their most underrated movie, a movie I love deeply, and would be my favorite movie of almost any other directors, Man Who Wasn't There. Amazing film. Great movie. Man Who Doesn't There is their most underrated film. There's no question about that. It's a movie that gets slept on to just a criminal degree, especially since it's basically the fucking skeleton key to understanding the Coen brothers' aesthetic sensibility and philosophy. I liked Hail Caesar a lot. I like their stuff that's like metacritical about Hollywood and stuff. Llewyn Davis is great. That's in the big chunk. I just rewatched it. It's great. It's a great movie. Llewyn Davis is amazing. They're so good. Come on. Ah, Hail Caesar doesn't suck. Fuck you. See, I like Tarantino. I feel embarrassed about it at this point because he's such a juvenile child, but I enjoy every Tarantino movie to some degree. I've never disliked a Tarantino movie. I always look forward to a Tarantino movie. I liked The Hateful Eight a lot. I loved Inglourious Bastards. Django Unchained is good. Um, both of the Kill Bills are good. Both the action-heavy one and the more sort of philosophical slash uh, aesthetically challenging one. They're all good. See, that's a good question. Too smart or too dumb? That's just it. Tarantino has watched everything and has metabolized everything and is projecting out basically his subconscious reaction to films. And that is at the same time both very sophisticated and intelligent and also really juvenile. And so that's why people have a hard time kind of understanding where he's coming from, because it's both at the same time. All of his movies are deeply juvenile. All of his movies are deeply, in the Freudian sense, oral or anal. I don't know which one it is. But at the same time, he's clearly thought about him a lot too. It's both. Jackie Brown very well might be his best movie. But I think his best movie is Inglourious Bastards, honestly. I feel like when, at the end of the movie, Brad Pitt says, I think this might be my masterpiece, I think that is his realization that he has done something that is more sophisticated and interesting than anything else he's ever done. And a lot of the things that are great about Jackie Brown are genuinely just borrowed from the source material by Elmore Leonard and also from the gravitas of Pam Grier and Robert Forster. Whereas Inglourious Bastards is pure Tarantino. And he still gets to a point of really interesting critique of his own sort of, filmic fetishism. So those are the best two, and I would say that Inglourious Bastards is the best, just because it's more authentic to him. But they're both very good. No, fuck. Oh, who is this fucking idiot? Jackie Brown's great. Shut up. Got some Philistines in here. It's fucking sad. De Niro and Jackie Brown is so amazing, and his willingness to just totally abnegate himself and be a completely just brain dead idiot is brilliant. It's before he got lazy. Drive's good. Renf is good, but Renf is way more hit or miss. I haven't seen Neon Demon yet, though. I need to see that. I hated Only God Forgives. Hated it. I love horror movies. Fuck off. Gosling, it's hard to tell. You can't tell if Gosling is good or just handsome. I don't know. All I know is that I don't have any weed. That's all I know. That's all I know about weed in Ohio is that I don't have any. And I wish I did. I love Bronson's my favorite. Bronson's is my favorite Rent movie. Totally slept on, and it rules. I love all P.T. Anderson movies, although I did not enjoy Inherent Vice as much, and I feel like he's crawling up his asshole. And I hope he pulls himself out. Apparently, he's making a secret film with Daniel Day-Lewis, and I've got my fingers crossed. You know what? I understand why people didn't like The Master, but I really felt like it was true to its own concept. The idea behind the Master is it's dialectical film. It's a dialectical film, and the dialect is between Hoffman's character, who is trying to he's trying to define life and whittle life down to its spiritual aspects and divorce it from physicality. And he is in a dialectical relationship with Joaquin Phoenix's character, who is trying to do the opposite. He's trying to define life by its physical aspects, divorced from spirituality. And the whole film has been basically battling back and forth. And as a result, the sense of dissatisfaction and sort of dissipation and lack of resolution is intentional, and it refers to the fact that conflict is irresolvable in the human spirit. We cannot resolve that conflict. That is a dialect that will never be resolved, and that doesn't make for terribly engaging, narrative filmmaking. But I think from a scene by scene level basis, it's gripping. But it's not, But then I feel like that the that what he's trying to do there makes it interesting enough that it sort of makes up for the degree to which the film is less entertaining than it could be. Whereas Inherent Vice, I feel like it doesn't have anything to justify how sort of defiantly uninteresting it is, and how defiantly it undermines its own narrative energy in order to just like dissipate all of the things it's accumulating. It's like, what are you doing? I don't get it. Well, there will be a Twitch. I think there will be a Twitch stream. I think that's going to happen. I think I think both Virgil and Felix are avid enough gamers that a Twitch stream is a genuine possibility. I will not be doing that because I don't game. Best punk bands. I have a limited. I'm not a huge punk fan, but I know who I listened to when I growing up, and it was the Dead Kennedys and the Clash. Those are my two favorites. Thank you. I enjoy my beard as well. Some people say it's red, and I guess that is. I don't know. I don't know. I grew up blonde, and now maybe I have red hair. I have no idea. You know what? I think that's a great idea. Reading Roadside Picnic and watching Stalker would be good, but I think we need the right guest. We need the catalyst guest. I have been incredibly mad at members of my family. I mean, last summer I yelled at my uncle because he kept insisting that Trump was going to be this amazing unifying figure who didn't care about social issues and was going to be pro-choice, and I just fucking snapped and screamed at him. Thankfully, he did not bring it up this year. He just wanted to talk about the Packers. No, I'm not. Debate is the worst thing. I mean, anybody who listened to the fucking Walter episode knows that debate is and the thing is, like, look at popular podcasts. Nobody does the debate model. What is the most popular show on TV that uses some sort of debate model? It's Bill Maher, and it sucks. You can't have an interesting debate in that context. You get too invested in one side or another, and it just doesn't work. Wario is definitely a libertarian. Come on, we all know this. I'll settle the debate right now. Orio's a libertarian. Felix does the best Democrat voice. He invented it, for God's sakes. He's a goddamn genius. Walther only hated me for some reason. I don't understand why. Like, he was totally obsequious to Will and Felix, and even Amber would agree, but he clearly hated me, and I don't know why. I don't know what I did. Fuck that guy. Matthew Walther, bitch. I'll call him out right now. Fuck that guy. The South African consulate man. He did keep calling me Cushman. He acted like that was my name. That fucking asshole. Drunk dickhead. I might have. I don't know. We've talked about this. Mario is Volcel. Mario chooses to contain his essence to better fight Koopas and Bowsers and whatnot. Come on. Hey, that's not an opinion. That's a fact of life. Screaming for vengeance. Ryan Guys says they have a good space. Yeah, it's not a great beer. Mad Tree is the best Cincinnati beer. That's uncalled for. Cat Mushman, come on. Sonic fucks like crazy. Absolutely. I don't game. You know, Getta's pretty good. Put Getta on like a egg sandwich, and it's a great taste treat. I don't game because I do Twitter. Twitter is gaming. I don't know where we're going to live yet. We'll find out. I'd like to live in Crown Heights. That's pretty centrally located, but we'll see what's available. I'd live in Queens, obviously, honestly, if it was cheap enough. We'll see. The Spider City Facts guy rules. I want to hang out with him. Skyline chili is fine as long as you forget that it's supposed to be chili. Okay, somebody wants to ask me about anarchism, and the thing about anarchism is that it doesn't have a it basically says undermine, but it doesn't have a method for challenging power beyond individual action. It doesn't, and more importantly, it doesn't have an idea for seizing power. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to seize power in anarchism? The word spontaneous gets thrown around too much. And when I see that, that's basically like, it's like dark matter. Like, spontaneous is basically you saying, I don't know. Spontaneous. This will take care of itself spontaneously. And so that makes me very skeptical of it. Not to mention that the sort of fetishistic devotion to individual expression, it seems pretty liberal, frankly. Well, I'm okay. Someone wants to talk about Anarchist Spain, but what happened to Anarchist Spain? Durruti and the CNT were offered control of the Generalitat of Catalonia by Companys and the bourgeois liberals. And what did they say? They said, no, we don't want to take over. We don't want to seize state power. And then what happened to them? Within a year, they were liquidated after the May days of 36, and then Lister's columns liquidating the collectivizations of the Catalonian countryside. That's what happened. They got steamrolled. It's not a great example if you're an anarchist, honestly. Like, Spanish anarchists kind of basically turned over the knife to others to stab them to death with. So that seems like a weird thing to bring up if you're trying to stick up for anarchism as a practical political solution to issues. I hope they build 5 billion mosques in the United States. I hope that there's a mosque on every corner. I hope there's a mosque and it's a combination mosque slash gas station slash McDonald's. It'll be amazing. I hope. I wish. And if there was like a falafel you could get in there, even better. Love mosques. They're amazing. Mosques, folks, they're great. They're amazing. They're amazing religious institutions. You know what? That's true. Rojava will probably end up in the same spot as Anarchist Spain, but not for the same reasons. That's unfair. Rojava, I mean, where is their leftism in the contemporary context to give any kind of meaningful solidarity with Rojava? There isn't any. The United States is reactionary power. Turkey is a reactionary power. Syria is a reactionary power. There's no one there to give aid. They're this tiny minority out in the middle of nowhere by themselves. So if they get wiped out, it really doesn't say anything about anarchism. It says that the left basically has no state power in the world. I wasn't on that show. I don't know what he was talking about. I would have asked him different questions. I don't know. I would have a hard. I would like to go on Cuptown, but at the same time, I worry that I wouldn't be funny enough. If Hillary were president, we'd be basically in the same boat as we are now. I mean, the more ostentatious shit that Trump has done would not happen, obviously. We wouldn't have had the dumb travel ban or any of that stuff. We wouldn't have this, like, ICE ramp up, probably, maybe. But, I mean, you know, biding time until the climate collapse, it's the same thing. They fuck you at the drive-thru. They fuck you at the drive-thru. Lethal Weapon 2. They fuck you at the drive-thru. I don't know what the Chapo opinion on DFW is, but I'm a fan. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I hold it. I like DFW. I think that Infinite Jest is an incredibly eerie and preternaturally accurate prediction of 21st century America. I know that's not cool, but I believe it. And I read the whole goddamn thing. I know no one will believe you if you say you read the whole thing, but I read the whole goddamn thing. Footnotes at all. Fuck you. I don't want to talk about climate collapse. It's too depressing to think about. How bad it could be? Bad. Capital letters. That's all I'll say. Man, Spider City Facts rules. I wish climate change was a lie. Oh God, I am so ready to believe that climate change is a lie. If somebody gave me anything even remotely plausible to explain how climate change isn't real, I would accept it. But you know what? It was 70 fucking degrees here in Cincinnati last week. It was 70 degrees. I was in New York last month, January. It was 70 degrees one day, and it snowed 12 inches the next day. If you want to fucking tell me the climate change isn't real, I would love to hear that. Because the alternative is too horrifying to contemplate. The idea that I hope that that's happening, that I wish it was happening, that I'm imagining it's happening is so hilarious. Because the dread is a constant thing in my fucking mind. I carry it around every day, the dread. That all of this, like, fucking short-term bullshit that we all worry about is meaningless compared to the blood rain to come. I fucking wish it wasn't real. So yeah, DM me. DM me with your fucking data that tells me that climate change isn't real. I would fucking love to hear that. Yeah, Australia has been 100 degrees for like 7 months. Fuck off. NOAA website? What is that? I hope Oprah does. That'd be funny anyway. I mean, yeah, obviously that's not a solution to class issues. And I'd much rather see some sort of organic left movement, but if we're not going to have that, Oprah running against Trump in 2020 would be pretty funny. Better than Zuckerberg, for sure. All right, I'm on the website for the National Organization Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I'm looking for proof that climate change isn't real. Oh, I by the way, I just went to NOAA.gov. The thing that came up immediately was 2016 brings global temperature threepeat. Global surface temperatures in 2016 was the warmest since official records began. It was the third year in a row to set a new heat record, and the fifth time the record has been broken since the start of the 21st century. That's what happened when I went to NOAA.gov. So what exactly am I getting? I just did. I went to that, you fucking asshole. That's what I got. I got peak temperature, highest since 1880, third time in a row it set a new heat record. That's what I got on NOAA. So what exactly are you fucking looking for me? You want me to fucking go to some Alex Jones thing where he's jerking off, like he's like coming into a fucking filet mignon, you fucking retard? Okay, so I clicked on NOAA climate change lie. This is what I got. All right. And I went to, the first click is the deplorable climate science blog. Wow. You're doing a lot, really. You're fucking selling me on this. You're selling me. You're selling me. Retards who say deplorable earnestly to refer to themselves, you've got me. I'm really interested. I can't wait. Let's see what happens when I look at this. All right. The deplorable climate science blog. Do you really think I'm gonna fucking listen to some dickheads who think that's a badge of honor? The first thing that comes up is is an is a call for whistleblowers to come forward and admit that climate science is a lie, and saying that you can receive millions of dollars for doing the right thing. Weird that hasn't happened. Weird that nobody has claimed that money. It's there to be claimed, and yet no one has done it. Odd. Okay, so this is the first thing after that idiocy. It says, what I see versus what they see. Climate alarmists believe that the world is falling apart. I see a beautiful world threatened only by psychotic progressives. And that's just a picture of a bird. It's a picture of a fucking bird. Birds still exist, therefore climate change isn't real. That's what they're saying. That's what the deplorable climate change blog is saying. I'm incredibly, you've done it. Thank you. I'm going to sleep soundly at night knowing that this isn't real. You fucking idiots. You morons. I hope you drown to death in boiling seawater. But of course you won't. You'll die of an infarction in front of a fucking old country buffet fucking sweaty piece of prime rib, you shitheads. Okay, so what this is saying is basically is that a lot of these places, oh, you don't have data, but like they do have data in North America and in Europe, and the data is pretty clearly showing that we're talking about like the hottest temperatures since the recording of data began. Like that's not really an issue. They're basically saying, well, Africa doesn't. None. I've literally never encountered African data when looking at this shit. I mean, it's a bunch of gifs. They're like saying, "Oh, you're saying that there's no Arctic ice, but look at all this ice." But it's just a GIF with no provenance. Why am I supposed to believe any of this shit? This is all a bunch of horse shit. Delete your account. Delete your life. Kill yourself. Yeah, I wish I lived in the world these morons lived in, because you've got Daddy Trump to save everything, to save us from the immigrants, and global warming isn't real. I mean, if global warming isn't real, there's really no problem we can't solve. Global warming is a gun to the head of everything, and a thing that will end all of our petty human attempts to fucking solve any of these social issues. If you don't think it's real, holy shit, fucking hang out. Pop a fucking bottle of bubbly. We're fine. You have to, if you're a moron who believes this fantasy, you should not be fucking trolling people's periscopes. You should be enjoying, especially since Trump's president. Nothing's going to be done on global warming for the next 4 years minimum. So why are you still care? Why are you still mad about it? Nothing will be done. We'll probably pull out of the Paris Accords. We're going to fucking get rid of all restraints on coal-powered plants or anything. Why are you still mad about it? The only explanation is that you know it's real and there's some nagging bug in your mind that you can't shut up and you need to shut up by posting on people's fucking Periscopes and trolling people online. Because otherwise, if you don't think global warming is real, kick back and relax. Clearly, there's something else going on where you wouldn't give a shit. Global warming isn't real because there's birds. Fuck you, you fucking child. There's one generation left. There's one generation of people on Earth left who harp. Oh my God, who is this moron? Why did I even fucking bother? Your people are brain dead. You're so stupid. Everyone's so fucking stupid. God damn it! Why do we even fucking care? Oh, we're so fucked. We're so fucking fucked. I know about HARP, you fucking moron. What about fucking chemtrails and fluoride, you dipshit? Jesus Christ. Oh, God. See, this is the thing. You think I enjoy sitting here drunk and thinking about oblivion? No, I don't. If you could give me anything even remotely persuasive to argue that climate change isn't going to destroy human civilization in the next 50 years, I would be all ears. But literally all you gave me is a picture of a fucking bird. A bird. Oh, you think that climate change is happening? There's still birds. Checkmate. Oh my God. We're fucking doomed. Geoengineering is dumb as shit, but it's also our only hope. Honestly, do you really think we're gonna fucking stop using carbon in the near future? No. Our only hope is that we figure out some shit. Like apparently, I heard someone said that if we painted every surface on Earth, like streets and houses, white in the United States, it would like reduce global temperatures by 1 degree. That's good. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's start painting. Don't wait for the fucking government to do it. Get out there and start painting things white.